Okay, good afternoon students. Already we have discontinued for a long time. So again we will start that part from where we have discontinued. Organism and a population. This chapter we have started few points we have discussed about this chapter. Organism and population. In this part, today we will discuss about one important difference today. Last class we have discussed about ecosystem. What is ecosystem? What are the components of ecosystem? That part we have completed. So today we will discuss about two important terms. One is habitat. Number one is habitat. Habitat. Another is niche. Niche. This question is very important for this year. Okay. So this is very important difference. As well as it is also important for need to clearly understand this. What is habitat and what is niche? First come to habitat. What is habitat? The definition of a habitat. It is a place. Habitat is a place on the earth where one organism, population or community lives. So what is the definition of habitat? A place. Habitat is nothing, a place. Place where an organism, listen carefully, organism or population or community resides or community lives or resides. That is called as a habitat. Any place. So for example, you can take water. Inside water some organisms are present, just like fishes, some amphibians, snakes, some reptiles are present inside water. So habitat is a place where an organism, population or community resides. And last class, in the first class of this organism and population chapter, we have discussed what is organism, what is population and a community. What is the difference between population and community? Recall with me. I had told you population consists of single species. Population is made by single species. What is the definition of population? I had told you population is nothing. The group of individual present in a specific area at a particular geographical area. Group of organism of single species in a particular geographical area is known as a species, is known as a population, and it belongs to single species. Group of individuals of one species in a particular geographical area is called population. But what is the difference between population and community? Community contain several species. From the beginning I am telling you the same thing. Population contain one species, community contain many species. Many species means different type of animal can be, different type of plants can be present, different type of microorganism also can be present. So that's why we can say habitat is a place. Habitat is a place where many organisms can live, and the habitat are different types. If one organism lives in water, that habitat is called as aquatic habitat. So different type of habitat are there. Organism living in water, for example fish are called as aquatic organism because they are found inside water. Aqua means water. If one organism lives in soil, that is called as a terrestrial habitat. And if one organism lives in both, that is called as an amphibian, for example frog. So habitat is different types. So habitat, clear? What is habitat? A place. Simple, you have to remember, it is a place where organism, population or community lives. So several species can be present, single species can be present. Clear? Anyone can be possible, or single one organism can also be present. That is called as habitat. But important thing is this one. What is niche? Listen carefully. I am going to tell you very important part which is frequently asked in NEET, and here the things you have to understand clearly. Habitat you can easily understand. Habitat means any place, no doubt in the habitat. But what is niche? So first listen clearly the definition. The definition of niche. Niche is a specific part of habitat. Specific part of habitat. Specific part of habitat. Clear? Number one, niche is a specific part of habitat. Means if habitat is a large, niche is a small part of that. For example, I will give you one example. If you take example of your book, your big booklet, your book contain 500 pages. Your book contain how many pages? 500 pages. That book is a habitat, but a single page, each page is a part of that book. That is called a niche. So habitat is a large area, niche is a small area. First difference. We will discuss the difference after that. So that's why listen carefully. What is the difference between niche and habitat? Niche is a part of habitat first. Part of habitat. So now use your sense of humor, general knowledge. Use your general knowledge. Here I have told you habitat contain organism, population or community. Community means several species. So many species are present in a habitat. But if you come to niche is a part of habitat I have told you. So definitely, according to our general knowledge, niche cannot provide much area like habitat. Habitat is a large area, niche is a small area. So that's why more species will found in the habitat. Less number of species are found in a niche. And what is the answer? In case of niche, there is only one species. One species can remain. One species. Remember this. So niche is a specific part of habitat. Habitat occupied by single species. What? Occupied by single species. Occupied by single species. Occupied by single species. Second point. Occupied by single species. So if question come, write the difference between habitat and niche. Minimum 2 point now you can write what we have discussed. Habitat is a place where organism, population or community lives, means several species. It is a large area. Niche, it is a specific part of habitat. Specific part of habitat occupied by a single species. So it is a large area, it is a small area, it contains more than one species or several species we can say, it contains one species. So two difference now completed. Now come to third point. What is the third important point about the difference between the habitat and niche? The third important point. This niche is a specific part of habitat occupied by a single species and circumscribed by means determine. Who determine this niche or how niche is determined? Niche is determined or circumscribed by some factors. What are the factors? It is circumscribed by range of tolerance. Listen carefully. Range of tolerance. Range of tolerance means I will give you one example after some time. But listen, here I have written single species. Any species you can take. Any species. For example, you can take a fish species. So fish species having certain condition of tolerance. A fish can tolerate a certain temperature, and according to that range of tolerance, that niche is determined. That niche is determined according to range of tolerance, range of movement, type of food, type of predator, timing of activity. I will explain everything. What I have written here, everything I will explain. Just listen carefully. First, I will give you one example, then I will come to this definition. This definition is not clear now. This part is not clear to all of you. So, now come to one example. I will give you one example. Let's take example of your college. Okay, this is your college. Okay, and different stairs are there. This is the ground floor. Okay, can I write here? This is the ground floor. This is first floor. First floor. This is the second floor. Second floor. This is top floor. Okay. So this is your college. Okay. Your college is a large area or small area? Large area. So I will write your college as a habitat. From top floor to ground floor. What I will write it? As a habitat. Listen carefully. In this example, I will complete everything, all the doubts, what I have written here. This college, all the floors of the college is a habitat. Because in your college, different species are living, not different species. Different batches are living. For example, 11th batch, 12th batch, +3 batch, +4 जो फेल होने के बाद रह जाते, +4 बैच भी रहते. तो different batches are there. ऐसा no. So that's why this large area is called habitat. Now compare with the definition of habitat. Habitat is a place where an organism, population or community, means several species lives. Several species, here you change in your example, several batches or several sections, several classes like 11th class, 12th class, +3 class, PG class. So different. Clear? So this is habitat. But what is niche? Now come to niche. Very important. It is a specific part of habitat. क्या लिखा है यहाँ पर? Specific part of habitat. ये था total habitat. इसका एक पार्ट को हम बोलेंगे niche. Let this top floor. Top floor not shows entire building. The entire building is made of ground floor, first floor, second floor, top floor. Everything when get mixed in a combined manner, that is called habitat. But this top floor को हम building नहीं बोल पाएंगे. Top floor is called niche. Clear हुआ? तो ऐसे बहुत सारे niche मिलेगा. Let this is niche number 1. Can I write this is niche number 2? This is niche number 3. This is niche number 4. Not always necessary that you will write from the top. You can write from the bottom. For example, I have written four niche are there in a series. 4 niche. Okay. Niche number 1, 2, 3, 4. Clear? So that's why each part, just like a book containing 500 pages, each page is a niche, but entire book is a habitat. Similarly, each floor is a niche. Each floor is a niche, and entire combination of all the floors is called habitat. Clear? The main difference between habitat and niche. So now you tell me, in your college building, all the floors are occupied by your batch. You are 12th batch now, 11th completed. Okay, those who will fail, that part is different. We'll discuss later for them. Okay, so for 12th batch, you are the 12th batch or second year batch, close to second year. The 12th batch, you are found only in the top floor. The 12th batch class is done in top floor. So 12th batch means only one species, only 12th type of species. 12th, those species which are reading in 12th, they will found in the top floor. They are found in the niche number 1. Similarly, those which are found in +3, they will be found in the niche number 2. So that's why if you look at the niche number 2, there is also one species. So now read again. What is the definition of niche? I had told you. It is a specific part of habitat occupied by how many species? Single species. Occupied by single species. चाहे वो 12th हो या 11th हो या +3, जिसको रहना है एक ही रहेगा. तो नीच के जगह पर एक ही रहेगा, कोई एक ही रहेगा. तो टॉप में ओनली 12th, 11th नहीं मिलेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल तो 12th ओनली 12th मिलेंगे टॉप में. तो नेक्स्ट सेकंड फ्लोर में ओनली +3 मिलेंगे. सिमिलरली और कोई मिलेगा फर्स्ट फ्लोर में. तो ईच नीच इज स्पेसिफिक फॉर हाउ मेनी स्पेसीज? 1 स्पेसीज. तो डिफरेंस याद रखना, हैबिटेट के लिए कोई स्पेसीज स्पेसिफिक नहीं था, the several species contain many species, any species can be present, so that's why habitat entire, if you look at the entire, all the species are found, here one species, here one species, it is a mixture of species, लेकिन नीच में तुमको कोई एक ही स्पेसीज मिलेगा। लेकिन सेकंड पॉइंट क्या बोला है, डिफरेंस तो हमारा डाउट तो था सेकंड पॉइंट में, ये दोनों पॉइंट में नहीं था। उसके बाद जो पॉइंट आया, उसके बाद क्या आया, सर्कमस्क्राइब। सर्कमस्क्राइब मींस डिटरमाइंड बाय, नीच को कौन डिटरमाइन करेगा, नीच को डिटरमाइन कौन करेगा, नीच इज सर्कमस्क्राइब्ड बाय रेंज ऑफ टॉलरेंस। टॉलरेंस, हाउ मच दे कैन टॉलरेट, हाउ मच दे कैन टॉलरेट। यू कैन टॉलरेट हियर इन द टॉप फ्लोर, एवरीथिंग कैन बी टॉलरेटेड बाय यू। फॉर एग्जांपल इन दिस टॉप फ्लोर, जितना टेम्परेचर हो रहा है, जितना टेम्परेचर टॉप फ्लोर में हो रहा है, ये टॉप फ्लोर में उतना टेम्परेचर तुम्हारे बॉडी के लिए सुइटेबल, तो इसलिए तुम टॉप फ्लोर को चूज किए। टॉप फ्लोर में जितना हवा आ रहा है, जितना ऑक्सीजन मिल रहा है, वो तुम्हारा सर्वाइवल के लिए सुइटेबल है, इसलिए तुम टॉप फ्लोर को चूज किए, ऐसा नो। तो दैट्स व्हाई दिस नीच द टॉप फ्लोर इज डिटरमाइंड बाय योर टॉलरेंस, तुम कितना टॉलरेट कर पा रहे हो। लेकिन जो ग्राउंड फ्लोर में रह रहे, ग्राउंड फ्लोर में सब बूढ़े हो गए, जितने सब ओल्ड मैन, वो सब ग्राउंड फ्लोर में रह रहे, इसलिए ग्राउंड फ्लोर में ज्यादा ऑफिस मिलेगा, ऑफिशियल्स ज्यादा मिलेंगे ग्राउंड फ्लोर में, क्योंकि उनके पास इतना एनर्जी नहीं, इतना वो टॉलरेट नहीं कर पाएंगे कि वो ऊपर चढ़ के चले जाएंगे स्टेयर में, क्लियर। तो इसलिए तुम लोग यंग हो, तुम लोग एनर्जेटिक हो, इसलिए तुम लोग ऊपर जा सकते हो, तुम्हारा टॉलरेंस पावर ज्यादा है वो बूढ़े लोग के कंपैरिजन से। तो इसलिए क्या बताया, रेंज ऑफ टॉलरेंस, जिसको जितना टॉलरेंस पावर है वो टॉलरेंस के हिसाब से वो ऑक्युपाई करेगा। तुम्हारा ज्यादा टॉलरेंस है टफ, और किसी का थोड़ा कम है वो थोड़ा नीचे आएगा, और इससे कम और थोड़ा नीचे, जिसका सबसे कम सबसे नीचे, ग्राउंड फ्लोर। क्लियर हो गया। तो सर्कमस्क्राइब्ड बाय मींस डिटरमाइंड बाय रेंज ऑफ टॉलरेंस। रेंज ऑफ मूवमेंट बता दिया, रेंज ऑफ टॉलरेंस जो है रेंज ऑफ मूवमेंट वही रिलेटेड, तुम ज्यादा मूव कर रहे हो इसलिए चढ़ के ऊपर चले जाओगे, रेंज ऑफ मूवमेंट ऊपर जाके पहुंच गए। कोई एक नहीं चल पा रहा है, उसका प्रॉब्लम है, जॉइंट में प्रॉब्लम है, पैर में प्रॉब्लम है, वो चढ़ के नहीं जा पाएगा, तो इसलिए रेंज ऑफ मूवमेंट, जो ज्यादा मूव करेगा टॉप में, जो मूव नहीं कर पाएगा बॉटम में, जो थोड़ा मूव करेगा थोड़ा नहीं कर पाएगा वो बीच में आ जाएगा। क्लियर हुआ। तो रेंज ऑफ टॉलरेंस, सेकंड रेंज ऑफ मूवमेंट, टाइप ऑफ फूड, थर्ड इंपोर्टेंट इज टाइप ऑफ फूड, कैसा टाइप का फूड मिल रहा है देखा गया। ये तो मैं कॉलेज का एग्जांपल दे दिया, कॉलेज बिल्डिंग का एग्जांपल। लेकिन जिस जगह पर एक ऑर्गेनिज्म रह रहा है, हैबिटेट जो प्लेस पर ऑर्गेनिज्म रह रहा है वहां पर फूड मिलता है, फूड्स। तो फूड, टाइप ऑफ फूड, ये टॉप फ्लोर पे जो टाइप ऑफ फूड मिलेगा, बॉटम में ग्राउंड फ्लोर में वो टाइप ऑफ फूड नहीं मिलेगा, इसलिए टॉप में जो फूड मिलेगा उस फूड के हिसाब से तुमको वही स्पेसीज मिलेगा। यहां पर जो 12th स्पेसीज लिखा वो 12th का स्पेसीज इसलिए वहां पर मिलेगा क्योंकि जो फूड मिल रहा है वो 12th स्पेसीज के लिए अच्छा है, उनका 6 पैक बनाने के लिए अच्छा है वो फूड, तो इसलिए वहां पर मिलेगा। लेकिन ग्राउंड फ्लोर में वो फूड नहीं मिलेगा जो टॉप फ्लोर में मिल रहा है, तो इसलिए ग्राउंड फ्लोर में जो स्पेसीज मिलेंगे उनका फूड अलग रहेगा, तो टाइप ऑफ फूड भी डिटरमाइन करेगा। तो टाइप ऑफ फूड भी डिटरमाइन करेगा नीच कहां पर होगा, टॉप में होगा या बॉटम में होगा। तो सर्कमस्क्राइब्ड बाय रेंज ऑफ टॉलरेंस, रेंज ऑफ मूवमेंट, टाइप ऑफ फूड, टाइप ऑफ प्रीडेटर। टाइप ऑफ प्रीडेटर क्या है, प्रीडेटर मींस जो वो स्पेसीज को खा जाता है। फॉर एग्जांपल आई विल गिव यू वन एग्जांपल, व्हाट इज प्रीडेटर। There is two relationship between organisms. There is one relationship known as a predator-prey. Predator and prey relationship. Prey is the food, जो एनिमल फूड है उसको प्रे बोलते हैं, और जो एनिमल ईटर है जो खा जाता है दूसरों को उसको प्रीडेटर बोलते हैं। एग्जाम्पल इज टाइगर डियर। टाइगर खा जाता है किसको, डियर को, तो टाइगर के लिए डियर हो जाएगा प्रे, टाइगर के लिए डियर हो जाएगा प्रे। जो भगवान को प्रार्थना करते हैं उनको प्रे बोलते, प्रे करते, तो प्रे क्योंकि वो मरेगा ना इसलिए प्रे करेगा, जो प्रे करेगा उसको प्रे बोलते हैं। Clear? So deer is the prey, tiger is the predator. So that's why it is determined by predator also. तो ये जो स्पेसीज में लिखा टॉप फ्लोर में ए स्पेसीज मिलेगा 12, क्योंकि इसका प्रीडेटर ज्यादा नहीं मिलेगा टॉप में, इसका प्रीडेटर बॉटम में ज्यादा है, इसको खा जाएंगे, इसलिए वो टॉप को चले गए क्योंकि प्रीडेटर नीचे है। क्लियर? तो डिटरमाइंड बाय प्रीडेटर, टाइप ऑफ प्रीडेटर, कैसा प्रीडेटर है, कैसा प्रीडेटर, वो ज्यादा खा जाता है, वो थोड़ा दूर चले जाएंगे, टॉप में मिलेंगे, उसका प्रीडेटर मिलेंगे बॉटम में, प्रे मिलेगा टॉप में। तो प्रे, दोज एनिमल्स व्हिच आर फूड, दे विल ट्राई टू सेपरेट, ट्राई टू मेक ए डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम देयर प्रीडेटर, डिस्टेंस फ्रॉम देयर ईटर। तो इसलिए नीच कहां पर होगा वो भी एक फैक्टर है। तो इसको कौन कौन खा जाते हैं वो भी डिटरमाइन करेंगे। और लास्ट में टाइमिंग ऑफ एक्टिविटी मीन्स डे टाइम में एक्टिव रहते हैं या नाइट टाइम में एक्टिव रहते हैं, क्योंकि जब सनलाइट आएगा ज्यादा लाइट टॉप में मिलेगा और धीरे धीरे बॉटम को लाइट नहीं मिलेगा, बॉटम पार्ट इज डार्क। सो दैट्स व्हाई टाइमिंग ऑफ एक्टिविटी इज ऑल्सो इंपॉर्टेंट, टाइमिंग ऑफ एक्टिविटी। सो दिस इज द इंपॉर्टेंट डिफरेंस between habitat and niche. What is the difference, main difference between habitat and niche? Now you can take a screenshot of this, okay, or you can write it in short, okay, you can refer at the end with the example also, everything is given, you can take a screenshot. Now I am going to remove and I will discuss the next part. So what we have discussed in this the habitat and niche, one conclusion we can derive from here. One conclusion. What is the conclusion? We can say habitat contain many species, niche contain one species, and that niche is determined by function of organism. Because here I have written many things, many factors determine the niche: tolerance, movement, food, predator, activity. ये सब को मिला के बोलते हैं फंक्शन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म, फंक्शन ऑफ ऑर्गेनिज्म। तो वन ऑर्गेनिज्म फंक्शन, एक ऑर्गेनिज्म कैसे काम कर रहा है उसका नीच को देखने के बाद पता चलेगा। क्योंकि नीच में बता दिया टॉप फ्लोर में नीचे, एक 12 का टॉप में नीचे मीन्स दे आर एबल टू मूव मोर, दे आर एबल टू टोलरेट मोर लाइट, दे आर एबल टू गेट सेपरेटेड फ्रॉम देयर प्रीडेटर मीन्स ईटर्स। सो दैट्स वी कैन से ये टॉप फ्लोर को देखने के बाद मेरे को एक आइडिया मिल जाएगा कि 12th बैच का, ये जो 12th बच्चे यहाँ पर पढ़ रहे हैं उनका फंक्शन क्या क्या है, कितना मूवमेंट कर रहे हैं, कितना वर्क कर रहे हैं, कितना पढ़ रहे हैं, ये सब पता चल जाएगा टॉप फ्लोर से। तो इसलिए मैं बताऊंगा कि नीच एक कंक्लूजन दूंगा कि नीच इज डिटरमाइंड बाय फंक्शन ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म। एक ऑर्गेनिज्म का फंक्शन के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा, एक ऑर्गेनिज्म का फंक्शन के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा नीच। तो अभी थोड़ा डिफरेंस के तरफ चलेंगे। डिफरेंस कैसे लिखेंगे? डिफरेंस तो एवरीथिंग इज गिवन इन योर नोट। I have also sent you the PDF note in the group. You can also refer that PDF note. So now point wise we will write, how we will write the difference between habitat and niche. This is the sure difference this year. First point you have to write in the habitat. Habitat is a specific place where a community lives, where a community means several species. तो several species ना लिख के हम एक टॉप में लिख देंगे क्या? Community lives. Community. Habitat is a place where a community lives. But what is niche? Niche is a component of a habitat. Component means part. Component of a habitat. Niche को क्या बोलेंगे? It is a component of a habitat. Habitat का एक part. Component of habitat determined by or delimited by function of organism. Function क्या? Function of organism बता दिया था एग्जाम्पल में, able to tolerate, how much it can able to tolerate, how much it can able to move, और timing of activity, type of food. तो function of the organism, नीच में तुमको function मिल जाएगा लेकिन habitat में function नहीं मिलेगा। सेकेंड डिफरेंस क्या है? Habitat contains several species, more than one species present. But in case of niche, there is only one species present. And another important, habitat is a large area. Habitat is a large area, but niche is a small area. Some points you have to write, you have to add in the note, because in the note all the points are not given. So listen carefully. Large area, it is a small area. Next point, next important point, you can find in case of a habitat. Habitat, it can be occupied by a species, several species, but it is occupied by one species. Another important thing, for this habitat, there is no necessary that the function of organism is there, but here function of organism is a must in case of niche. Another important thing we can say in this example, here we can say habitat never changes. Habitat never change for a species. Habitat कभी भी change नहीं होता है. Habitat never change for any organism. Habitat never change. But niche change with time. Time may change. It may change with time. May change with time. It may change. कैसे change होगा? It may change with time. For one example, I will give you. One is a tadpole. Another is a frog. जब tadpole बड़े हो जाते हैं वो frog बन जाते हैं. Tadpole when become large, it become frog. तो अगर tadpole को देखेंगे, tadpole and a frog, all of you know frog is amphibian. Frog is amphibian. Amphibian means it is present in water plus soil. But the tadpole is only aquatic. Aquatic means only water. तो it is present only in water. तो tadpole जो छोटा frog है, tadpole frog का जो छोटा स्टेज है, tadpole is aquatic. बट ये जब टाइम के साथ बड़ा हो जाएगा, frog हो जाएगा, वो क्या बन जाएगा? amphibian. तो amphibian means both in water and soil. So that's why we can say frog, when it is a tadpole, there is a niche, only aquatic, only in water. But frog हो जाने के बाद उसका niche change होके क्या हो गया? Amphibian means both in soil and water. So this is all about a difference between habitat and niche. Thanks to all of you.